Live from WSLS, this is 10 News at 6, working for you.
Now at 6, heavy storms bringing flash flooding risks across the region. We're tracking the latest conditions in your zone. Plus,
I will always be right here standing with the women of Virginia.
I think it's important to find areas where we find common agreement.
Abortion taking center stage in Virginia's elections, where both Attorney General candidates stand, and their thoughts on the divisive Texas law.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for 10 News at 6. I'm Brittany McGraw.
And I'm John Carlin. It's been raining all day, and we have multiple flash flood watches all across our region.
Here is a live look from our Poor Mountain sky cam, and you can see the wind is blowing, those gray skies, and the rain continues.
Right up there in the clouds, and Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanowich is joining us now with the very latest. Jeff, it's going to continue for much of the night for a lot of our viewing area.
Yeah, I would say by around midnight, we're going to start to see conditions improve, but we have about 6 more hours to go. What I want to do is show you the radar, and you'll notice how we do indeed have a flash flood warning in effect for parts of Bedford, Franklin, Patrick, and Roanoke counties until 8:45. It's in this red box right here. Now, you'll notice that the heaviest rain has shifted to the east now of this red box, pushing a little bit closer into Pinhook and also into Martinsville, not to mention Bedford. Another flash flood warning in effect until 8:30 for parts of Bedford, Botetourt, and Rockbridge counties. This does include the city of Buena Vista and also Lexington. Heavy rain right now falling in Lexington, also into Natural Bridge, south into areas near Buchanan. The rain is starting to pick up in Buena Vista and is going to become only heavier here over about the next 10 minutes or so. All this moving to the northeast at a clip of around about 30 miles per hour. So from now through about 11, that's probably where we're going to see our worst weather, with the worst of the weather shifting into areas east of the Blue Ridge, into Lynchburg and south side here for the next couple of hours. This evening, we are looking at rain likely, even a few thunderstorms. Temperatures are going to fall into the low to mid 60s by around 10 o'clock. What we're tracking here, heavy rain, a few stronger thunderstorms possible through about mid to late evening. And after that, we're going to dry out and have a sunnier Thursday. We're turning much cooler behind this front, and we're turning drier too. The muggies are going to be completely out of here by this time tomorrow. John?
Thank you, Jeff. Hey, at home, remember this, please. On and off the air, your local weather authority is always tracking the very latest conditions on days like this. It's really important. Download the 10 News weather app for personalized updates right there for your area.
With less than 2 months until the November elections, the candidates for Attorney General here in Virginia are speaking out on their differences when it comes to abortion. 10 News reporter Annie Schroeder joins us live in the newsroom tonight to break down where each candidate stands. Annie.
Brittany, good evening. With the recent laws passed in Texas, many are asking political candidates to weigh in. The two competing to be the next Attorney General have very different views on how that should be handled here in Virginia.
In about 6 weeks, Virginians will head to the polls to pick the next Attorney General. The two candidates have differing views on most things, but especially the issue of abortion.
I am pro-life with exceptions: rape, incest, threat to the mother's life.
I will always be right here standing with the women of Virginia, ready to fight tooth and nail for their rights.
Democratic candidate Mark Herring says if elected, he will continue to protect progressive laws passed over the last 8 years.
No woman should ever have decisions about their reproductive system controlled by politicians. And yet my opponent seems to think he knows what is best for women and their bodies.
His opponent, Republican candidate Jason Miyares, says he has a history of being pro-life.
My position on abortion is very different than Mark Herring's position, which is abortion anytime, anywhere, up until the moment of birth, paid for by taxpayers. That's even very, very different than Bill Clinton, who said he wanted abortion to be safe, legal, and rare.
Herring has raised concerns that if Republicans are elected this November, Virginians could see similar proposed laws to those recently passed in Texas.
And Texas's abortion ban is a clear warning of what is at stake here in Virginia.
But Miyares says he would not support laws similar to those proposed in Texas.
I have said before that I would not have voted for the Texas bill. It had no exceptions, and separate from that, it created a brand new private cause of action that was completely unworkable.
Now, the two are set to take part in a debate hosted by the Loudoun County Chamber of Commerce on October 13th. Election Day is set for November 2nd. Live in the newsroom tonight, Annie Schroeder, 10 News, working for you.
2 people are injured after a stabbing in Martinsville. Police arrived at Chatham Heights Road near the Virginia Museum of Natural History on Tuesday afternoon. There they found 2 victims. Officers say the incident did not happen there, and they're working to find out where it did occur. Both victims are expected to recover. And as we've reported, Liberty University has seen a spike in COVID-19, including 400 cases and 1,800 people in quarantine just earlier this month. Now, for a second consecutive week, they're seeing a decline in those totals. The university reporting 71 active cases and more than 400 people in quarantine. Spokesperson says LU is mandating masks for employees under a new law from Virginia Governor Ralph Northam.
On August 30th, he signed, and it went into effect on September 8th, new restrictions, regulations statewide that require, through his Department of Labor, that require all employees to mask. In areas where there's a low transmission of COVID, vaccinated employees can take off the masks.
And masks and vaccines remain optional for students. The university is hosting another first-dose vaccine clinic tomorrow for students and employees.
Business owners have been through a lot lately because of the ongoing pandemic, but for some in downtown Lynchburg, there's another culprit slowing them down. Major construction on Main Street has been detouring customers from shops for nearly 2 years now. We just found out it's going to be that way a little while longer. The project was supposed to finish up next week. However, due to weather and infrastructure problems, construction on Main Street will continue until December. That has local business owners frustrated.
We've seen a decrease. A lot of people, they hear there's construction downtown and they don't want to bother.
I think actually construction is probably worse than COVID, but it comes to the double whammy.
The conversion of Church Street to two-way traffic started today. That's expected to be complete by the first week of October. The Western Virginia Water Authority will resume water disconnections in October. This applies to customers with past due balances more than 45 days old. The company initially suspended disconnections in March of 2020. Customers can apply for financial assistance and payment plans on the authority's website.
September is National Recovery Month, and organizations in Lynchburg are fighting to change the stigma of getting help. Roads to Recovery offers services including residential housing, peer coaching, and counseling, and they've seen more people coming for help since the pandemic began.
People are losing their jobs, people are losing their homes, and the disease of addiction is just killing people.
Horizon Behavioral Health is seeing an increase as well. Since March of 2020, they provided 97,000 telehealth appointments to more than 4,200 clients in Central Virginia. The organizations are sponsoring some upcoming events for National Recovery Month, and we do have all that information at WSLS.com.
These first responders are now working as one, but many volunteers are speaking out. Why they say it could cause safety concerns for the county.
And a staffing shortage creates a dire situation for this animal shelter. Why they say it's so difficult to replace veterinarians.
First responders in Franklin County are joining forces, but volunteers aren't thrilled about the union.
10 News reporter Lindsay Kennett has the very latest on this controversy.
After a heated debate, the Franklin County Board of Supervisors voted 4-3 Tuesday night to build a new Glade Hill Fire and EMS station. But volunteer firefighters say it's not what they wanted, and they're going to refuse to work out of the new building.
The $5+ million facility would sit near Route 40 and Turtle Hill Road in Union Hall. Glade Hill Volunteer Fire Chief Stephen David, who didn't want to talk on camera, says volunteers are worried eventually they won't be needed and that paramedics will miss emergencies by assisting on fire calls. The firefighters' proposal to divide the space between volunteers and paid EMS staff was rejected. Supervisors expressed concerns about the hefty price tag and using taxpayer dollars to fund a volunteer department. Those who voted in favor didn't want to waste the nearly $370,000 spent on the planning and design.
How did it come to this point? This is an absolute disaster.
Nothing was done in the dark. Everything was wide open. And frankly, it's got me bumfuzzled too. I'm with you on that part. I am bumfuzzled.
Supervisors agreed to let volunteer firefighters decide which engine or tanker will move to the new station and to rename the new building the Glade Hill Volunteer Fire Department. Reporting in Franklin County, I'm Lindsay Kennett, 10 News, working for you.
You are looking at a live picture from our new College Institute Skycam overlooking Martinsville. Just got done with some heavier downpours, still some heavy rain in and around Henry County. We'll let you know when this front will get out of here and where we're going to see the triumphant return of blue skies for an entire day coming up.
There's a staffing shortage at the Franklin County Humane Society, and it's preventing them from taking in any more pets. Right now, the center has just over 300 pets. The main issue, 2 of their veterinarians are leaving and they're unable to run the clinic. The center says there's usually only 1 veterinarian candidate for every 14 job openings.
We need people to be responsible, to spay and neuter, and to take care of these little animals. And I'm really afraid what will happen when we're not here to open our doors 7 days a week.
The center has taken in about 1,600 pets so far this year. If you'd like to help by donating or volunteering, you can call the phone number on your screen.
Your local weather authority, always watching and tracking for you from the JES Weather Center.
You are, for the most part, done with the rain in places like Wytheville, Independence, and Bland. You're going to see the rain wrapping up in places like Blacksburg within about the next hour to 90 minutes, but you head farther east, you're going to be dealing with rain for the better part of the next 4 to 5 hours in places like Lynchburg, Danville, and South Boston. All of this pushing to the northeast at a clip of around about 20 to 30 miles per hour. And of course, we are seeing still some very heavy rain extending from Lexington through Buena Vista down through Bedford into areas near Pinhook, south into parts of Henry County. We are getting reports of some flooding going on right now in Buchanan, in Botetourt County. We've been mentioning Buchanan right along Highway 43 and Interstate 81 for about the last hour and 15 minutes of local news. And it looks like, again, we're still dealing with that heavy rain cell pushing now to the east of Buchanan, moving towards the Rockbridge, Bedford, and Amherst County line. Now, as we show you the flash flood guidance here, you're looking at a 6-hour time frame. And notice that if there's any good news to be had, as these showers and thunderstorms move to the east, that's where the guidance is higher. You would need about 3 to 4 inches of rain in a span of 6 hours to produce any sort of flooding in places like Appomattox, Danville, and South Boston. Why? Because you have not seen as much rain farther to the east as you have along the spine of the Blue Ridge here for about the last 36 hours or so. I want to show you the bigger picture. We have the spinning low situated near Cincinnati, Ohio. To the west of that, that's where we have high pressure. High pressure is going to be in charge of our weather tomorrow, Friday, into the weekend. But first, we have to get rid of this front, and we're going to have several more hours worth of some heavier downpours. I would say from now through about 11 o'clock, that's our best chance to see some heavy rain and stronger thunderstorms. But behind this front, we're going to turn breezy, we're going to turn less humid, and we're going to see more in the way of sunshine. So Thursday into Friday, we are looking quite pretty outside. Fall officially arrived here about 3 hours ago, and it's going to feel every bit like fall for us here Thursday, Friday into the weekend, with overnight lows come Thursday night ranging between 43 and 50 degrees. The front is basically through the New River Valley. That explains why right now you have temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. You have not had the front go through places like Lynchburg, Danville, and South Boston, where temperatures are still in the middle 70s. The upper air pattern is such that we're going to have a dip in the jet stream. That means fall-like air in play for us here Thursday, Friday, into most of the weekend. But notice that there's summer heat out to the west. Eventually, we're going to have those temperatures going back up again as we head into next week. So by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to notice that temperatures are likely going to climb into the lower 80s again. But until say Monday or Tuesday, enjoy this fall-like air. Again, Friday morning, we're looking at lows 43 in the NRV, 45 in the Highlands, 48 in Roanoke, also south side, 46 is your overnight low in Lynchburg. Come Friday morning, it's going to feel really good outside. Maybe it's a night where you turn off the AC and let Mother Nature cool you down. For tonight, the rain moves east, and then after midnight, we're going to slowly dry out with some fog. Overnight lows 49 to 58. For tomorrow, we're turning sunny. Don't be surprised to awaken to a little bit of leftover clouds in the mountains, but we're turning sunny tomorrow. Highs in the mountains in the 60s, outside the mountains 70 to 75. Your extended forecast showing temperatures in the mid to upper 70s Saturday and Sunday. I told you temperatures will hit 80 or above next week. We're looking at highs 80 to 84 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're dry here Thursday through Monday. A few thunder showers possible next Tuesday and Wednesday. Brittany, John.
Jeff, thank you. Just into the newsroom tonight, all of Pulaski County Public Schools will be holding virtual days this Friday. Officials say staffing shortages continue to be an issue at every school. We'll continue to bring you the very latest information on this story as it develops. Again, this is breaking news. Just to keep an eye for updates on WSLS.com. And now to some great news.
Yes.
10 News anchor Lindsay Ward is officially a mom.
Yes, congratulations. We want to introduce you to our team's newest member. We want you to meet Blake Allison. This pretty little girl was born early Saturday morning.
And Lindsay is enjoying her time at home with Blake, and she'll be away for a while so she can have some precious time with the new baby. But we want to congratulate Lindsay and Sherman and the addition of little Blake Allison to their family.
All right, outstanding news. Meantime, we'll hear from Coach Rivera on tightening up his defense moving forward. And we'll hear from the Hokies as they look to correct their issues and move forward with the Spiders on deck. Sports is next.
And now, the Freedom First Sports Desk with John Appicello.
With the emotional battle for the Black Diamond Trophy behind them, the Hokies welcome Richmond to Blacksburg. 10 Sports' Brooke Leonard has more on the Spiders' visit.
After suffering their first loss of the season to West Virginia, Lasita Smith said that the locker room was awfully quiet. Guys were in their heads Saturday night, but Sunday was a brand new energy.
Instead of walking in to a locker room of guys pointing fingers and saying, man, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because offense ain't do this or defense didn't do that, there weren't any pointing fingers, and that was pretty cool to me because, like I said, it hasn't always been like that.
A strong mental shift this week was necessary as the Hokies welcome the Richmond Spiders into Lane Stadium.
A veteran football team coming in our place that's very well coached on both sides of the ball and in special teams. I mean, they've got 4 or 5 defensive linemen that would play for us, and they've got skilled players and scheme, and we're gonna have a heck of a week of practice.
A week of practice where emphasis on red zone execution is likely. The Hokies were one of 3 chances against West Virginia. The final scoring opportunity would have won the Hokies the game.
We just, the goal was just execution. We made some mistakes Saturday, obviously, but we just focused on executing, and going out there and making plays.
We're gonna play better with the ball in our hands and everything. Coming to everybody, me and Jalen and Keyshawn and everybody, we talked about it, just saying we got to spark our offense, give us that jump start where we need to be at.
The Hokies kick off against Richmond at noon on Saturday here at Lane Stadium. In Blacksburg, I'm Brooke Leonard, 10 Sports.
Thanks, Brooke. Martinsville once again hosting the Super Bowl of late models on Saturday night. The Bears will start the Ohio State Phenom this week, and we'll have to wait a little longer on the decision on that college football playoff moving to 12 teams.
NBC Night in the News coming up next.
We'll see you back here at 7.